Well, this is my December walkthrough, and I know I'm late. In 5 days, it'll be Christmas. We still have tomatoes growing. This is that fig tree that I sprouted, just sticking that stick in there, and it grew. Look at the tomatoes. We have tomatoes everywhere. This is all full of tomatoes. So we've been picking tomatoes. Let's swing around over here. Okay, let's go this way. That's my ginger growing, my stevia. Oh, look, we have a palm tree growing in there. This I'm going to redo. This is just a table that I kind of set up and I'm using for plants. Okay, more tomatoes. Sorry about swinging you so much. Sorrel is growing strong. A lot of this stuff is pretty much gone to seed. That's celery. This is lettuce that's gone to seed. Celery's pretty much done. Look at that. We've got Russian red kale in there. Tomatoes here are almost done. There's still peppers. There's a pepper on there I've got to get off. See? But this is pretty much done here. It's starting to get cold. Today we're freezing. It's about 65. More tomatoes here. Red peppers. See, this is pretty much done. All this grew in here and I never put any soil in there. I threw a little bit of wood chips on top. I started the compost and then everything grew and I just left it. So now I'll be able to start composting in this container again. On the top here is dinosaur kale. This is just pieces I stuck in here. And they rooted. And that's that UB that came up in my compost. See, it's kind of starting to die back. And this is all my dinosaur kale here. These are like trees. They're monsters. Look at that. They're like 7 feet tall. And there's even that's growing in there. Sunflower came up. I didn't plant it. And just curly kale is growing. Let's see. Squash is trying to grow, but the new squash aren't really going to do anything. Not this time of the year. Strawberries are just hanging in there. They're not going to really... Well, actually, look at that. Little strawberry, but they're not really going to do anything until spring. And believe it or not, we're just going in the winter. I think tomorrow is winter. Oh, there's a strawberry up there. I didn't even see it. Look at that. We have a strawberry. So there are strawberries on here. But, you know, we've had unusually very warm weather. So things kind of grew differently than they normally would. This is my sprouting broccoli that I love so much. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. Okay, I shouldn't be eating and talking at the same time. Onions, mint is on the ground. This is popolo. Technically, the popolo should be dead. It is full of seed, but it should be dead. But instead, because it heated up, it started growing more seed pods again and started growing new leaves. Look at the leaves that are coming in here. That is not supposed to be doing this time of the year. But we were like in the 80s, so the plant was confused just like everybody else. Okay, collard, more onions, baby collard coming up, more collard coming up in here, tomatoes. This is a sprouting broccoli. So what I'll do is take that head off and then it will just keep growing. I'm going to grow this like another tree. There's peppers growing in there. Hey, there's a pepper. And tomato plant. There's that curry herb I planted in there. That's growing really good. More tomatoes, of course. There's squash back there, but I can't get back there right now. Here's another sprouting broccoli I planted in here, and this thing's a monster in a container. I'll stake it up and let it keep growing. I picked some zucchini off of this yesterday, so there won't be any zucchini on that now. And just some more stuff growing in there, like Swiss chard. I mean, technically, this should all be died back, and then thinking about spring. Mint all over the ground, which is good, because mint kind of, I don't want to say it goes dormant. It really doesn't go dormant in the winter, but what it does in the fall kind of dies back. It's not as full as it would be. So this is really good that the spearmint is doing really good. So we can have tea all winter. and I'm looking forward to that. The chocolate mint's kind of died back. Orange mint, not as much as the chocolate, so that hasn't died back as much. There is celery in here. There's red vein sorrel. I use that for green drinks. Now, I'm going to tell you something I really shouldn't say, but I'm going to say it anyways. Look at this. Beans are growing in here and onions. I went to the doctor recently for something, and my blood pressure went up. They asked me, what's wrong? Why did your blood pressure go up? Oh, and this is, well, you know what this is, eggplant. And we do have a little bit of eggplant. Where is it? Oh, see, it's still growing. Oh, look, there's a whole bunch. I didn't even see that. There's like 3 back there, and there's more in there. Oh, good. I love my eggplant. My blood pressure went up. And they said, are you taking your meds? And I said, no, I haven't taken it in a year. I'm going to admit to something I hate to admit to. I have been so stupid, crazy, busy on the computer, working with I do artwork. I want to call it children's artwork, but it's not even children's artwork. It's for anybody. And it's just little artwork. And I'm so busy at Christmas time. And I work for pennies. It's no joke. I work for pennies. But I don't have time to eat. It's crazy. I'll go get something out to eat, and Gary will find it later sitting somewhere, and he goes, you didn't eat. I just was so busy because I'm on such a restricted time to get everything done that I have not been drinking any of my green drinks. I make usually 1 green drink a day. It's for both of us. It's a whole pitcher full, so we could drink it all day. And it's usually, you know, collared and Swiss chard and the red Swiss chard, which I'm growing here, and the green, and whatever leaves from the moringa tree. I picked that and put that in there. And what else? Celery leaves, sorrel, not mustard. I don't put all the different kales I put in there. Throw in some organic carrots that I pick up. And I blend it all up with grape juice and sometimes blueberries, because sometimes I get blueberries at a really good price, and drink that. And then I squeeze in a lemon because we grow a lot of citrus now here. We got oranges and lemons growing. And I will drink a glass of, at least 1 glass. Sometimes I take a second glass. I even dump in flaxseed, ground up flaxseed in it, and blend it all up. I will say that because it doesn't have any fat in there, it's good to take a spoon of peanut butter afterwards, or almond butter, something with fat, and eat it afterwards. I found it helps me metabolize it so much better. I haven't been doing this since my Christmas season started. So that would be the beginning of November. And because I have not been eating what I grow, I do eat when I come in the garden, but not, you know, that green drink, my blood pressure's gone up. So I know exactly what changed my metabolism is I'm not eating what my body wants. And I am starting to get back in a routine as my Christmas season is wearing down. I should say winding down. And I'll tell you, it makes a world of difference. There's a papaya that came up in here. I still have to move that. Because when I make that 1 glass and I drink it, I feel so good, like I have so much energy. So I have to get back in the routine. Like I said, just make 1 drink a day. That's all I need. And I should be fine. I started doing it, and I already noticed my blood pressure coming back down. Because I went and took I have this blood pressure medicine that they once prescribed for me years ago, and it's like they said it's nothing. It's just a tiny little nothing. And I took it, and it dropped my blood pressure really low, like 106/50. So they said, no, don't take it. Yeah, because I started drinking my green drink, which brings me back to normal. So you don't want it to drop that low. So now I've got to watch it, because now that I'm back to getting in my routine of at least having 1 green drink and eating better again, and remembering to eat, and not going into the freezer and looking for a hot dog that's so bad and eating a hot dog because it's quick and fast, my blood pressure is already going back to normal. So food really does control your body. And if you don't eat good, your body knows it, and it can't do much with what you put in it. You know, if you're not putting in good stuff, and I will admit, I will do that when I'm in a hurry. I won't eat good. My body knows it. When I get back on a routine of eating something good, I eat something bad. I do like my sweets, but at least I eat good, and that really covers everything else, it seems like, pretty much. So, yes, shame on me. I wasn't eating as much as I should have been eating. I mean, I would get up every morning and we make eggs with greens. I wasn't doing that because I needed to get everything done at a certain time, and it would just take me so long. So I'm getting back on my routine. I'm getting back to cooking again. This time of the year, usually Gary cooks and I work on my artwork and getting my mail out and everything. So like I said, that's winding down, so things should go back to normal for me. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. So this is the garden tour. Like I said, I wanted to keep this really quick because really not much has changed. We can go look at the papayas. And we're composting. We found some bananas, he told me, in the freezer that went really brown. So I told him just dump it in here. I'm going to set up this container and probably grow, I'm thinking zucchini in there. And yes, that's rosemary. There's nothing really here. Here's my papayas. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? And pretty much that's it. Like I said, nothing has really changed. I got to get back on my routine of eating and eating better. There's some chocolate mint. Like I said, it's not as bushy this time of the year. It kind of dies back a little bit. And I think that's it. There's squash up against the wall. There's squash on there. Let me see if I can swing around. There's all the wood chips. That's all doing really good. It may not look that good in the video, but let me tell you something. It's good. I've been picking zucchini constantly off of that. I've even got an eggplant that came up. And so now I've got eggplant starting to grow. I still have tomatoes there. Okay, the moringa tree there doesn't look that hot, so we'll see what happens with that. And he's been moving his wood chips. I don't think there's anything to show in the wood chips. Let me see. He cut a hole so we can walk. I just walk around them. I don't know, something about walking. But this is all breaking down nice. So this is really good. So he's been moving them, and even like here, we piled it up. He pushed it here. Well, now when I'm getting ready in the spring to plant, I can just dig into here. Oh, and I can get all kinds of good soil in here. It's further down, but it will break down really, really good. And I can use that for planting. More composting there. I'm composting there. I'm composting in place here. I'll plant something in this later. This is feeding the papaya trees. This one wasn't growing that much fruit. It was growing a little bit. And I put that there now, and now it's growing a whole bunch more. That was the papaya tree that wasn't growing any fruit. And once I put that container there and I started composting in place, where I just treat it like there's something growing in there, even though there really isn't. But I compost in that, and when you water it, it goes into the ground, and that papaya is feeding off of it. Now we've got all kinds of fruit on that. And I know for a fact that's because of composting in place. So this is a very quick tour. And yes, I have to start eating more of what we've got, because believe you me, I do have a ton of this stuff. There's more food here than we'll ever eat. And I cut back too much. There's an eggplant down there. So I ran out here because I am working still a little bit online, but just wanted to do a really quick tour. So not much change from last month. Maybe the fig trees have lost their leaves now pretty much. And some trees have not lost their leaves because, like I said, the weather has been so incredibly warm. And now is our first day I actually put a sweater on. I haven't even worn a sweater. I've been running around basically in shorts or jeans and a t-shirt. Tomorrow is winter. So that's the garden. And that's the update. And I'll do another one next month. Next month will probably look a lot more sparse because as we go into the cold weather, some of the plants will die back. Like I said, the popolo shouldn't be even alive right now. Some of them will die back. Some of them will like the cold. I think dinosaur kale really likes the cold, and they taste really good in the cold weather. Much better tasting when the weather cools down than when it's warm. So with that, I have to remember to eat better so I can keep everything intact, going good, like my blood pressure. See, I've known this because of I know about animals, and if animals don't get the proper food, they end up with problems. Well, people, of course, are the same way. And so I know I did this to myself by not eating right. And probably, I don't want to say eating so much junk food because I don't buy a lot of junk food, but just not eating right. I do bake cookies, and it's easier to grab some cookies and go to work than to make a green drink or to make some vegetables or something. And that takes longer than grabbing a cookie. So that is not good. So with that, I will say I am going to eat what I grow. I'm ate some today, and I'm going to eat more, and I'll get back on track again. So don't forget, I don't know what else to say. It's just so cold. Look at this. It's cloudy. We haven't had clouds. We've had smoke. We've had hot weather, but we have not had clouds. It feels like it's going to rain. That's amazing. So don't forget to eat what you grow, and I'll come back and do another walkthrough in January. Happy New Year, everybody. Have a great holiday season. Bye-bye.